sports, where division rivals will clash in the NFC East. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys, and it's all up next.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Set for football now at AT&T Stadium. Brandon Aubrey has the honors, and we are underway here in Arlington. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Hurts. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. And Smith in motion right. Hurts sets up to throw it. Over the middle, hauled in by Campbell. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10, he got 9. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and run the option. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Little read option, the end result, the first down, so a good read.
And the way teams are running it nowadays, they've added variety to it. You know, the original way was you read the defensive end. If he crashes down, you pull it and you go. Now they may not even block that person, may end up reading the linebacker, may read the cornerback. Just depends on how they want to block it up.
And he's not able to get away sacked back at the 22. Jordan Phillips coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9.
Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
Here's Hurts to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Campbell. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead.
And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it's 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Throwing, Prescott. And Cooks has it over the middle. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Prescott. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away.
Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive.
They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Second and 9 now from the 21. He'll drop to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Hurts. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. On first down, it's Bailey, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Stuck for the loss by Devin White.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Prescott to throw it. He gets it to Cooks. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That'll wind up a gain of...
Offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
from the 35 on second down. Hurts. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
In motion right, Campbell. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. He'll get it inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get first downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. This a 33-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will make it 6-0. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kicks away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Into space at the 45. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Bailey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. 6-0 our score after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. Ball on the 39. Here's second and a couple. As they've got it as we resume action. To throw is Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Here's Prescott. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Prescott from the gun. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now a 2nd and 10. Prescott down. Hollywood Brown. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Marquise Brown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from capturing the lead.
Brandon, what we just saw there were 2 guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. A 10-play drive that time. And it's Hollywood Marquise Brown who finishes it off with the touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. Avoids him at the 40. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Steps away to his left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Back to throw now on first down. This is Smith with a grab. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
On first and 10, it's Mostert. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Second and 7. They're going to look to throw. Flushed out right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, nice move. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on third down and 5.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
First carry for Kenneth Gainwell. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now second and 5. Hurts. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Back to throw. And he's got it. And this will not be enough. On third and 5, he only gets 3.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a fourth down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Elliott is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Cooks motions to the left. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. It's caught, Cooper. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On first down, Bailey. That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. A perfect example right there, Charles, of why they love this rookie runner.
And think about how the NFL and the college games are meshing together more and more. You don't have to go to the NFL and learn a new set of skills. What you did in college often makes you ready for the NFL.
And he's got it to about the 40.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that's complete to Cooks. And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues. Here's Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. This will be caught by Brown. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 16. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. but he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. And it'll be intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
And out now come the Eagles. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Throwing is Hurts. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And a tough turnover there, as now they will have it at the 6-yard line, 1st and goal. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And following the turnover, they'll look to take the lead here as they start with a 1st and goal. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have regained the lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And the lead is up to 5. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, we'll see if they want to try to put a drive together, possibly even take the lead here with a touchdown. From the gun, it's Hurts. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Second down and a yard. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's to his running back, Gainwell. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Here's Jake Elliott, career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this will remain a 5-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Prescott to throw it. And it's incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
That's be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. They'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. From just shy of midfield, Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try and run here with Mostert.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll set up to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
I tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk. But it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a 1st down, but a big play as well.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal.
Mostert diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Hurts will throw.
And he's got it. The try for 2 is successful, and it pushes the lead up to a field goal. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Cowboys offense and Dak Prescott getting ready to go once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 3rd down, it's Bailey, and he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Off the play fake, Prescott. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yardage, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
Prescott. Buying time to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw is Prescott.
The short one there taken in by Ferguson.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
Here's Prescott. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Adoree Jackson right there, step for step in coverage.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And this one is right down the middle, and that will tie things at 17 all. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Man, confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 27.
They'll look to Mostert to start things out.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Saw the linebacker Damone Clark coming through with a stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
3rd quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Campbell making the catch. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away.
35 yards that time on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Prescott now.
Cooks on the quick slant.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage. Got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Prescott. He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Looking to throw. Prescott. Escaping. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Milton Williams in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Here's Prescott. It's caught left side by Cooks. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I've got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
And this will be taken at the 13. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Hurts. That's over the middle and caught by the rookie.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard.
Running the counter with Mostert.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
On 3rd down, here comes Mostert.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Now Hurts on the option right.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
A run with Mostert up the middle. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Well, now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 8.
Throwing is Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 42. 23 yards on the play.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll set up a throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. They'll drop to throw.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So 3rd down, but you got to think they'd like to get closer, even in a dome with good kicking conditions for a possible field goal. They go play action with Hurts. Flush to his right. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
From here on, any score could be the winning one, and he is certainly aware of that. Look at the way he locked in on that marker and made a mad scramble to get to it for the first down.
Hurts sets up to throw it. This short throw caught by Goddard. Second and a couple. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. They'll get just a couple, but the sticks move again.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Here's Hurts to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Nothing on that one, it'll be 2nd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
It'll be Hurts on the option. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jalen Hurts, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Eagles have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And they will take a 7-point lead now. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The time to get another look at this Cowboys offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Now Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Bailey. And he'll take this down to the 33.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that's complete to Cooks. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
They'll run on first down. Bailey. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down and 6 now. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Prescott able to get down there at the end on the slide, and he has the first as well. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes a correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the first down with his legs instead.
Throwing, Prescott. And it's caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A fourth-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for two, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Aubrey now for the point after. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. This is 1st and 10. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd down. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Well, this crowd making it hard to hear. This is 3rd and 8. Straight ahead, it's Gainwell. And his bid for the 1st down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. So a big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Elliott is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they managed the clock exactly right.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Cowboys offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Final minute, one timeout remaining. 1st and 10. To throw, Prescott. And that's complete to Brown. Second and 6 coming up. Now Dak. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
A big play looming on 3rd down. Here's Dak. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out is Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. Here's 1st down.
They'll look to throw here. Flushed out right. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
Here's second and a yard.
Now back to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
So the Cowboys going to get the first chance here to search for a winner as we're back underway to start this overtime. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And out now come the Cowboys. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's second down.
Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Now a first throw here in overtime.
A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Looking to throw, Prescott.
Going right back to Ferguson.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Up the middle they go. It's Bailey, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Now Prescott. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now remember, again, a touchdown wouldn't win it just yet, but it can give him a big leg up. It's 2nd down. To throw is Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he is into the end zone. They accomplish what they set out to do as they will take the lead here in overtime. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was all finished on the touchdown reception by Ezekiel Elliott. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Throwing is Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. They find some open field here. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there and in the process picks up the 1st down.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
Hurts. It's caught. Smith. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big 1st down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that 1st down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it.
And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that 1st down run.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
They need a matching touchdown here to keep their hopes alive. Here's 2nd down. Here's Hurts to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one you might look back on as being a turning point. If he holds on to that, this game's over. But that's going to give this offense a second lease on life, and you can't afford to do that here in overtime.
This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Carl Lawson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Over the middle to Smith. And he will be brought down well shy of the goal line. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. So they'd converted their first 2 4th down attempts. Not there. Now they're 2 for 3.
You think maybe the offense coordinator expended a little capital on that one? You know, when you're 2 for 2, you can lobby for that 3rd one, right? Didn't get it there. Maybe now the head coach might not be so eager to go for it as we go forward.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.
That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.